Hi Beth, hi Jayesh. Hope you guys are doing well. Just wanted to create a quick video to present my assignment, only because I wanted to do some further work and start doing my design. I didn't want to change the website before I do the presentation, and I thought instead of waiting for tomorrow night, I could do some work by then. So I thought I'll present it as video format and send it through to you guys, and that way I've covered the presentation. And I really wanted to take you through some of the new aspects of the lights that I've been working at, and hopefully this is okay. So going to my website, I've changed a few things. I've changed the backgrounds as per the direction and that I was given, and I've changed some of the positions of the buttons and etc. I looked at some information on the web in regards to creating websites and how to make it flow. The recommendations were reasonably simple to follow. Minimize the buttons as much as you can. Make it easy for people not to go clicking through different pages. One of the things that I had was when I clicked on aspects of the lights, for example, I had a few buttons, one for each of these text, spatial, form, and material. You would click on that and it would take you to the next page. The recommendation was that you shouldn't do that. Make it easy. Have one button up top. Click on that. Have all the information, but also have subheadings where you would click on that and it will take you straight to that specific part of the information. So I'm reducing those, and I've tried to implement that on all of this. Back to presenting my actual assignment. I won't go through the site analysis, but I do have that on a tab, and we've been through most of that. I'll start with a brief. So in the brief area, I've explained a little bit about Subiaco as a suburb and my site, and also below that, I've spoken about the clientele, why I'm looking at it, the research that suggests who they are. So my research suggested that I should be looking at professionals and families, professionals that work in the area, obviously, and families, and try to cater for them. And the aspects of the light that I've been looking at hopefully covers them. So for the spatial one, the touch points of the spatial, I've got the exterior ones that I'm looking at first. Rooftop gardens, we've looked at these. I've explained a bit better and I've cleaned it up, taken the backgrounds off, shown a few diagrams of where they are and how they will be used. And most of this we've gone through before. Again, exterior spatial one, balconies, how they work, how they're staggered, what the delightful feature is, or what's the delight about it, the sense of openness, the connection with the outdoors, the views, etc. Interior spatial touch point. Again, we've had a look at this one. Um, being able to connect with the outside, letting the sun in. I intend to have double height rooms with windows floor to ceiling for the apartments, and on the ground lobby floor have the space three times the height, so three heights. And again, that's just to give that sense of openness, the delight created by that. So for the form, for the spatial aspects, I haven't added anything new. I've just tried to synthesize what I've had before a bit better and explain it a bit better. Um, for the form ones, I do have a couple of new ones. We were having a look at round corners previously, and for this design, the reason I was looking at round corners, basically on the ground floor, I wanted to create a bit more of a space for people to walk around it instead of running into each other. Gives that undercroft and creates a sense of the delightful sense to walk around a building and enjoy it. But after presenting it last time, I think Bet mentioned that soft corners or round corners are a bit awkward to work with, and I quite agree with that, especially when it's gonna get inside the apartment. I think it will have quite a bit of waste of space, etc. So what I looked at was to keep the idea. I want to keep the idea of space, but create an outdoor um, a delightful feature not only for the building to give it an identity, but also create an undercroft that people can use in their space between the street and the underneath building for people to walk and not run into each other. This also creates shade and gives it that feature, that comfort, comfortable space to walk around and enjoy in the building. We've looked at the stepping back of the ground floor in the form area as well previously, um, and I've tried to explain some of that a bit better. And again, we've looked at the interior form of the light for the central lobby or the ground floor lobby, where people would come in, mingle, walk around, have a look at artwork, the gallery work, and move up to their apartments. One thing that we haven't had a look at before is uh, this feature that I want to work into my third floor now. I really wanted to create a space that both the professionals can unwind in and also families after a long day, whether it be schooling and getting home or working and getting home. And in order to do that, I've had a look at this um, basically a floating swimming pool that floats outside the building, so it carries through and extends and overhangs. Um, I wanted to create that connection. Most buildings do have swimming pool. Most residential buildings have swimming pools and gyms, but I wanted to give that connection with the outside, so the people that are walking out on the street can also see this feature and enjoy the way it looks, and the people that are obviously enjoying and using it, the residents themselves, will have something, a delightful feature that they can talk about and enjoy and present to their guests or etc. And it makes it quite iconic. But the idea that I wanted to further develop was not only do I want it to be a swimming pool that it overhangs, but I want it to sort of become almost like an infinity pool and create a waterfall into a fountain, which will create an undercroft for for the entry to the lobby area. So that's a new one that I really wanted to implement. So I'm looking forward to somehow um, articulating that and working that into my design. Um, and materials, I've also got a couple of new material ones that I wanted to present. So we've had a look at the cladding. I've fixed the renders, taken out the old ones, done new ones that specifically look at light and shadow and how it works. And obviously, I fixed the rest of the pictures, etc., on the last one. And the same with this one. I've taken out the heavy renders and tried to simplify those and work through that and explain it a bit better. But one material that caught my eye and I was really interested in was the Al Bahar Tower, the adaptive exterior of the building. Now, it doesn't cover the whole building, it covers part of the building, but what it does is it opens and closes, and I really wanted to implement that in parts of my design. However, the looking in detail, it is a complicated system, and to simplify it, I looked at a few different options, but I think this butterfly sort of uh, design works pretty good. Hinged down the middle, the butterflies or the wings would open towards each other, and it will give a ever-changing design, create the airflow, and create the protection from the sun. The other material that I really wanted to uh, look at, and I think it's a very delightful material, but I can't work it through the whole building, especially with how expensive it can be and uh, not really the most sustainable option as well. But either way, I wanted to work into the building in the best space that I could look at it for all the residents to enjoy. So I didn't want just the penthouses to have it or part of the building to have it, but I wanted all the residents to enjoy it, and that would be great option to have this marble floor surrounding the swimming pool, just like the precedent where the residents can enjoy it. The last and final material delight that I wanted to implement in my design or in my apartment is the idea of having a central lobby aquarium. I want to do an aquarium that can be viewed and enjoyed by everyone that walks into the lobby. Kids, could spend hours after school with their parents just walking around. I always get asked by my kids, when are we going to the aquarium? When are we going to the zoo? Etc. And it's always like next time, next time. But imagine if the kids could walk in and every day they can basically have a look at the fish. You can't have pets in your apartment, but hey, you can have pets in your ground lobby, and name him Nemo, etc. So I really wanted to work that into the lobby area, and I think that's about everything that I've got on the lights aspects of the lights. The next step, I guess, after the um, collaborate session on Tuesday is for us to look at our spaces, interior spaces of our apartments, which is what I'm working on, and that'll be presented in my design approaches over the next few weeks. Thank you for your time, and hopefully that all makes sense.